The woman was collecting scrap at the factory. With just one glance, she saw that there was a problem with the imported machines. But the factory manager had even specially invited foreign experts to repair and fine-tune the machines. But unexpectedly, the experts deliberately delayed things. A whole month passed in the blink of an eye. Not a single machine had been fixed. The factory's production schedule was also delayed, which caused the factory to lose a $10 million order. Seeing this, the manager asked the experts if they could speed things up, but the experts used the excuse of conducting a thorough inspection to stall for more time. The manager spoke bluntly. As long as the machines could be fixed within a week, the chairman was willing to pay $20 million in compensation. But the experts said it wasn't a matter of money. What they needed was time. They needed at least another month. Upon hearing this, the angry manager stomped his foot. Even the woman standing nearby couldn't bear to watch anymore. She stepped forward and said she could repair the machines. It turned out that before retirement, she had been a senior technician at the factory. These small malfunctions were nothing to her. She could fix them within 10 minutes. But just as she was about to step up and help, she happened to run into her former apprentice. So she asked what she was doing at someone else's factory. Unexpectedly, the apprentice looked down on her. She told the woman to just focus on collecting scrap and not to meddle in her business. However, when the manager heard the woman's name, he became very excited because the woman was the senior technician the chairman had been looking for. It turned out that the woman's repair skills were among the best in the entire industry. She could solve problems, big or small. She had worked like this for 20 years, but that day, she was betrayed by her own apprentice, because the apprentice had just become the technical supervisor, and immediately thought of firing her. The apprentice was arrogant. She believed she had learned all the woman's skills, so she hurried to get rid of her, so she could be the boss of the technical department. But even though her apprentice treated her like this, the woman held no grudge. She immediately signed the resignation agreement, planning to fix the imported machines before leaving, but the apprentice didn't give her a chance. She directly ordered people to throw the woman out. Meanwhile, the chairman of another factory was worrying about the equipment repairs at his factory. Seeing that the foreign experts were deliberately stalling, if it continued like this, the factory would go bankrupt sooner or later. While the chairman was at a loss for what to do, he unexpectedly learned that the woman had retired early. He immediately decided to rehire her with a $5 million annual salary. But the woman was still troubled about losing her job, because her son and daughter-in-law were fighting over not having money to buy a house. They were on the verge of divorce. In order not to burden their child, the couple started collecting scrap for a living. But what he didn't know was, without the woman's help, the apprentice had already broken the factory machines. But in order to keep her job, she refused to admit her skills were lacking. Instead, she blamed it on machine aging. The factory director, seeing this, ordered her to fix it quickly. Otherwise, she would bear full responsibility for delaying orders. When a colleague suggested bringing the woman back to repair it, the apprentice refused flat out. She claimed the woman didn't understand high-tech and was useless. When she heard from the director that the foreign experts were debugging equipment at the neighboring factory, she immediately came over to ask them for help with repairs. But unexpectedly, the factory manager refused her request. Just as the two were arguing, the woman happened to arrive there collecting scrap and was surprised to see her apprentice there. In their conversation, the manager realized she was the person the chairman had been looking for. He quickly called the chairman. After learning the news, the chairman rushed to the factory. He explained the issues at his factory to the woman. If the machines weren't fixed soon, his factory would go bankrupt. The woman was puzzled after hearing that. She said the factory used all imported machines, so production speed shouldn't be an issue. It turned out the machines had problems just days after starting, and no one could adjust the production parameters properly. When he learned the woman was an expert in this field, he wanted her to help, but her apprentice, hearing this, immediately told the chairman that the woman was a fraud. She said the woman didn't know how to tune imported machines, but the chairman didn't believe the apprentice. He begged the woman once again to help him, Otherwise, his factory would really shut down, and a large number of workers would lose their jobs. Hearing this, the woman sympathized deeply. She said she could give it a try, but the apprentice stopped her again, mocking that the woman wasn't as professional as her. After all, she had become a technical supervisor after just 10 years of work, while the woman was only fit to collect scrap. If she damaged the machines during tuning, the woman wouldn't be able to bear the responsibility. Before the woman could speak, the chairman said directly that he would take responsibility for any problems. He even called his lawyer in front of her to draw up a liability waiver, saying clearly that any issues would not be the woman's fault. Seeing that the apprentice still wouldn't give in and even continued insulting her, the woman couldn't bear it anymore and slapped her. She also severed ties with her apprentice. After speaking, she got ready to step forward and tune the machine, but unexpectedly, the expert blocked her way, saying that if outsiders intervened during debugging, their company would not provide after-sales support. The chairman was furious upon hearing that. He said he would rather give up the expert's support than stop the woman from tuning the machines. At the chairman's repeated request, the woman finally went to debug the machine. It was fixed in less than 10 minutes, but the apprentice still didn't believe her. She said once the machine started, it would break down. But the next second, unexpectedly, the machine started up and amazed everyone.